Good afternoon, traders. Welcome back to NinjaTrader Live. I'm Craig Shapiro, macro strategist, and this is your afternoon market update. The dominant risk sitting underneath this afternoon's tape remains a profound disconnect between paper markets and the physical world. While equities have re-rated aggressively on ceasefire optimism and AI momentum, they are pricing in a clean resolution to the U.S.-Iran conflict that the physical world is emphatically not delivering. We've seen the market soften here over the course of the last hour following reports that Gulf, Arab, and European leaders now estimate a formal U.S.-Iran peace deal could take at least 6 months to finalize. The realization is forcing a recalibration of the quick fix narrative. The Nasdaq is currently up only 30 basis points, while the S&P is up 10 basis points, and the Russell has widened its decline down 20 basis points on the day. The softening in equities is mirrored by a sharp 4.25% move higher in crude, as the 6-month timeline suggests a much longer period of structural energy disruption than previously anticipated. Oil has rallied back to near $95, and we are seeing concurrent weakening in the bond market as a result. 10-year yields are up 3 basis points to 4.31%, while 30-year yields have climbed 4 bips to 4.93%. The maritime environment remains the primary driver here. The Pentagon has confirmed that 13 vessels have already turned around rather than test a U.S. naval blockade on Iranian-linked ships crossing the Strait of Hormuz. General Dan Kane detailed that this effort, involving over 10,000 servicemen, is being enforced both inside Iran's territorial seas and in international waters. This maritime chokehold is creating a dire strait for global logistics. The IEA warned today that Europe has perhaps only 6 weeks of jet fuel remaining, while regional leaders warn privately of a global food crisis if the waterway remains closed into next month. Turning to the macro drivers, the rhetoric from D.C. remains sharply hawkish. Defense Secretary Hegseth warned Iran today to, quote, choose wisely, stating the U.S. military is ready to strike critical infrastructure if a long-term ceasefire isn't accepted. While reports of a potential 2-week ceasefire extension initially buoyed sentiment, the underlying data remains a stagflationary mix. Jobless claims fell to 207,000, suggesting a stable but cautious labor market. Yet New York Fed President Williams reinforced a stance of no strong forward guidance given the high uncertainty. Williams warned that an extended crisis could simultaneously raise inflation through intermediate costs while dampening growth. This tension is evident in the junk bond market as well, where CoreWeave is seizing on AI demand to tap another $1 billion in debt, even as the Fed flags that price pass-throughs are hitting everything from groceries to fertilizers. In the corporate space, the price action is becoming increasingly defensive. Charles Schwab has seen a significant reversal from earnings this morning, now trading down 6% on the day, as the market scrutinizes the net interest margin despite strong asset gathering. Abbott Labs is also under heavy pressure, down 7% as the market reevaluates the near-term dilutive drag of its Exact Sciences acquisition. Importantly, all eyes shift to the technology sector after the bell as Netflix is set to report earnings. This will be a critical test for the AI-resilient tech narrative, particularly as investors look for guidance on subscriber growth and pricing power amidst the ongoing geopolitical volatility. Finally, in commodities, the physical reality is tightening as the market grows skeptical of a diplomatic breakthrough. Secretary Besson's confirmation that Russian and Iranian oil waivers will not be renewed removes a critical pressure valve. Bank of America is flagging a critical dislocation where paper oil is complacently pricing a resolution, while physical markets sit at historic extremes, with dated Brent trading at record premiums to the front month. This backwardation implies the physical market is rejecting the ceasefire narrative entirely. In the precious metal space, gold has given back its earlier gains and then some, trading down 35 basis points as the market weighs the prolonged diplomatic window against the ongoing blockade and higher yields. As we head into the close, it's all about whether the physical market begins to force the hand of paper traders, with the U.S. military signaling it is ready to move from blockade to bombs dropping if talks fail, and a major tech earnings catalyst looming after the bell with Netflix. The downside asymmetry remains the focus. I'll be keeping a close eye on those energy spreads and the long end of the bond market. That's it for me. That was your afternoon market update. I'll now pass it over to Jim for an edge report.
Thank you, Craig. Let's take a look at the E-mini S&P again. 10-minute chart. You have the same stat from Edgeful, our friends, edgeful.com, spelled with one L, not two. Initial balance breakthroughs for Thursdays, looking back 6 months. 50% of the time we had a single break of the IB, and 50% of the time we had a double break of the IB, which is pretty high odds, actually. We've already had that single break, and as that single break occurred relatively early today, top of the IB is approximately 70, 74. I'm eyeballing it right now. So we had that single break already. The double break would come in only if we traded below the bottom of the initial balance, which is approximately 46. So 70, 46, give or take a couple of ticks. What I did though, I highlighted the midpoint. You hear a lot of these guys talking about the midpoint of the IB, and there's a little red line there, right? I did it with the indicator that I'm using here on the platform, and I just wanted to see where that midpoint of that US IB landed, and no surprise, it landed right at the bottom of the value area, right between prices below value and the value area, almost a perfect alignment, which is kind of interesting that happens. And when stuff like that happens, I think two areas of interest at the same place that might be important. Now we've been bouncing off of that lately. This is a 10-minute chart, not a 30-minute. So within the last hour, we've kind of tapped it, and then buyers brought us back up to the point of control and VWAP, which are the same level at this point in the day, and not a trend either way. So just kind of sideways. The other thing that was interesting is that London IB. We don't talk about the London IB a lot. A lot of people blow it off. I like to have it on there just to see where it is in relationship with the US IB. It's a little bit higher, right? The London IB is a little bit higher, not a lot. It's a small range, I get it, but prices keeps kind of popping back in there. Just put your cursor there and look all the way across how many times we kind of traded to the middle of that London IB, and it's a lot. So there's some price happiness from the top of the London IB down to the bottom of the value area right now, looking a little bit sideways perhaps, but there's only a 34% range today based on a 34-day average. We've only gone 42 handles, 42 and a half handles so far today, and that ATR is a lot bigger. The average range is 123, by the way. So small range day might be an inside day, but then again, a breakout could be meaningful one way or the other. So we'll see. I have not ruled out a drive back down to the bottom of that IB low. Let's shoot over to Treasury bonds. Treasury bonds, as Craig pointed out, I mean, this is back to inverse relationship here with Treasury bonds, equities, and let's take a peek. Remember, we talked about that area of support and resistance, that channel. It was a pretty strong channel, I might add. Pretty much between that 114 handle and then a 113.10 handle, give or take. These two rectangles here. Let me open this up so we can see it a little bit better. Well, we got a break to the upside, and we traded above it for a long period of time, and thinking, okay, this is now this area of resistance is now support. Well, not so fast. We dipped right back in. We tried to get over that 50 EMA, couldn't do it. Sellers brought us back down, and then some again today, back into the original range. So, there's nothing's really happened with interest rates, and the war's grinding on and all this stuff. So it's going back to that area of happiness right there in that mid 113 handle. So the difference, though, to consider is the relationship between this and the equities. They're no longer going the same way, right? And traditionally, they're inversely related, but not always. So now it's kind of back to that level. And if you think about it even more, crude oil also showing that difference, right? We're up in crude oil right now, pretty much 4% almost. And Craig mentioned this also, but now we're going in line with equities. So again, some flip flops on the traditional, some of the traditional things you would think in terms of relationships. Keep that in mind going forward here. Let's take a peek at crude oil really quickly here before we move on. We're in the June contract now, everybody. Remember, there's 100,000 contracts traded already in the June contract. Roll's finishing up today. Tomorrow you can't even trade it. I took the old contract off completely. It's not even on my market analyzer anymore. I'm just looking at June. So right now up 3.48%. Here's a daily chart. Notably, though, this is kind of an interesting thing because I have an anchored VWAP here. I'm channeling my inner Brian Shannon right now. I anchored it from way back here. This is on the 26th. The war really started on the 27th, but I anchored it from when this rally kind of started, right? Including this crazy wick that we saw way up here on the 9th. So I anchored it there. It's that white line. Follow it along. We got here, right? The 10th. Boom. We hit it. Buyers push this back up. We got there again. On the 23rd, boom, we hit it. Buyers pushed us back up. Almost got it again. Then finally, we have a breakthrough. Finally, we have an actual solid body candle trading below it, but Buyers push this back up again. So this VWAP really kind of helps me anyway understand where the buyers are in charge and when the sellers are in charge. And it's obvious that crude oil wants to be bullish given the circumstances, but that VWAP actually is a pretty good thing to look at on a daily chart. I like to look at it all the time. 50% retracement from that crazy swing high. So kind of in the middle of the pack right now. Point of control, still from a volume point of control from all of this time, is at $94.83. So it's a dominant point of control too. So I wouldn't be surprised if we drive back up there. The only thing that worries me is that ADMA is crossing underneath the 21. We'll see if it just taps it and turns around or not as this green candle gets greener. So that is this afternoon's Edge Report. It's time for our main event, Trading the Close. We have Joey, Jack, and Leo, the big cat, in the house. Good afternoon, gentlemen. How's everybody doing?
Doing well, Jim. Doing well.
I heard like a reverberation there. Everybody was saying doing well at the same time.
Dang.
It's like a symphony. You guys are like a symphony.
Just means we're on the same page.
Like a chorus.
Yeah.
Definitely don't got the vocals to perform, but
Oh man. By the way, I do have a public service announcement I'd like to make really quickly here. Tomorrow, we're starting an hour later tomorrow. Tomorrow we're starting at 9 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock. And but really kind of quickly into that 9 o'clock hour, I'll do a quick edge report and say hi to everybody. Then we're going to get right into Trade the Open, and we're going to go all the way to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So is that right? 1 o'clock? Yeah. So tomorrow, just a late start. Everybody just remember that. Other than that, guys, what are you thinking today, man? I keep wanting to get short, and I'm getting any traction. Joey, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I'm watching NASDAQ. I am short right now from 26,459 on MNQs. I've already trimmed my position. I just have a final runner running now. This was the first time that I felt pretty confident in the short play. Just given the price action that we've had this week, we started to come back down, back into the initial balance range. You see, we have initial balance high here at 453. Sellers are really driving us down. So I felt pretty good about us moving back more into the range. I'm really targeting that IB mid there at 360. Was that 364? And seeing if we can get down there. If we get to 364s, I'll be trailing this thing pretty aggressively. Right now, my final runner that's currently still on the stop for it is at break even at my 459 original entry. So waiting to see if we get to IB mid. If we get to IB mid, I'll be trailing this thing pretty aggressively. For now, just letting price play out. But I feel pretty good about us coming down to more into the middle of the range of the IB.
Got it. And before we're going to go to Leo next, but I want to just put this thought to the chat. How many markets does Jack have a position on? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Type in what you think. We'll reveal the answer in a second.
I haven't looked, but I'm going to go with 4.
All right, Let's go to a 4.
that's
All right, let's see what the chat says. Leo, though, what are you thinking about this afternoon?
Jim, it's Gaussian. That's all I can say. We've been up and down and up and down. We had a big bullish push in the earlier session, and now we're, it's just rotational. So you got to find the edges of the range and kind of fade it. Is my trade here. I was kind of eyeballing this down here for a long, but I'm gonna need to be a little more convinced than just like a little yank. There's momentum to the downside from this high. It's just been lower highs, lower lows. So I'll be looking for something lower to get long, essentially. I don't really have a trade to look at right now, though.
Yeah, so on days like this, Leo, when the range is high to low for the whole entire session, including the Globex session, is kind of tight relative to other days. Is it your experience that we'll eventually get a pop today, or it could just be one of these like we're going to wait and see till tomorrow?
Yeah, I think just digesting the new push to all-time highs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really expect a breakout in the afternoon.
Got it.
Either up or down.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning that way at this point too. Let's look at the chat. We got some 2 prints, 3 prints, a lot of 3 prints. All right, Joey, it's time for the big reveal, baby. What are we looking at?
Yeah. too. Not nothing too crazy. I really need to be have some really hard trending markets in multiple assets because I got to build them. I don't like to put risk on simultaneously. But yeah, short NQ. I've taken a third of my position off here in the Russell, actually down on these lows. This was my limit before I just moved it back up. But I almost had 2/3 off, and then I added on this NQ. I'm still thinking, I'm hoping we get the targets. Right before we got on air, my targets are 2,400, but I'm going to give it an opportunity to break. I'm going to use a little fib tool here and show you a theory. Let me see.
And by the way, you were banging the Russell drum early this morning.
I was. I figured, it hasn't had the strength of the other indexes, but after this little blow off top we had here in the NASDAQ, we came into what was, 50% retracement from highs. And then we banged up back into that again here. So for the remainder of the day, I'm going to be watching that 50% retracement. If it trades again or not, we'll see. That's going to be right around 26,480, it looks like. But if we're going to be super aggressive on selling, I believe that, we'll see some sellers come in from this most recent high to low. And that 50% retracement is going to be at 26,450. But that's a tool I really like to use after I considered it to be a range expansion to the downside. We broke this support that was holding for a few hours during lunch. This yellow bar is an average to range increase. That's when it turns yellow. And when we broke that low, I always say give it 25 minutes. I want to see where we are. That low broke at the beginning of the 205 candle. So where we are at 230, whether we're back up in the retracement or further down towards my targets near the base of the lows is what I'm expecting. But for the remainder of the day, if we can push down lower, I'm going to sell the next pop again. I do think there's a small chance we actually take out IB low. And you said that was a 50-50 shot over the last 6 months on a Thursday. I think a 50-50 shot is really good odds here for a downside move. So we'll see if that plays out. I'm going to stay short or, get my stops. We'll find out as the market progresses. But I'm actually a little surprised at how strong the Russell is at this point in time. Really not following the ES and the NQ lower.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Awesome work. All right. Gentlemen, I'll see you at the end. I'm going to pop back in and say goodnight. And I'm going to see some of you guys tomorrow. So having said all that, best of luck on any trades you may take.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Take care. Leah, are you coming? I wasn't sure if we were.
No, we're actually starting to be moving tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
So
good luck with that.
Yeah, thank you.
That's when you realize how much stuff you've accumulated. You're like, wow.
Well, funny you should say that. Last weekend we rented a 22-yard, dumpster container that they just drop off from the driveway, and we managed to fill that up to the brim.
Wow.
So we are purging and moving all at the same time, and it's totally necessary because you just, like you said, you don't realize how much stuff you accumulate, especially when you go through, like our son is, 6 now. We have a newborn, she's 12. Even the newborn, stuff is just like you go through it so fast, and it just ends up with just in closets and whatever. So we're just purging and moving.
Purging is always a good feeling, though. When you're getting rid of a ton of stuff, bro. So satisfying.
Yeah, I told my wife, I was like, we are going to have to be very intentional about not buying, not replacing this junk with more junk.
Dude, yeah.
Because she has she just, she'll go shopping and oh, I love this little thing or whatever. And it's just
it adds up fast.
Now that our house is it's kind of empty right now, some of the stuff's off the walls. I'm like, feels good in here.
The kid accumulation is the most accumulation you get because especially when the 0 to 2 year old, if they go through so many different phases of toys and stages, it's you got 2 different cribs, a couple different strollers, plenty of toys. Don't even get started with the clothes. It's but yeah, always a good feeling to restart. Are you moving locally or are you moving
Yeah, 5 minutes away.
Okay.
Well, that should make moving things pretty easy if it's that close.
Yeah. Yeah, it won't be bad. I mean, we're not in a rush to move out of this house because it's not, it's not even for sale yet. So, yeah, we'll move out. We'll do a couple of, touch up paint, things like that, get it ready to be sold. So it's not like we have to rush out of this house and into the next one, which is nice because, I don't know if you've ever done like the double move where you have to be out and it's just there's
the
time coordination. Yeah, it's a hot mess.
I will probably have to do that pretty soon because I know my wife and I, we're going to be selling our house and getting into a new one just because we've outgrown this one. And yeah, so I will probably be dealing with that pretty soon.
You in the barn for the boat?
I'm looking for a house that has a shop. Yeah. Yeah. Have the boat in, but also too, like, I kind of want a house with a shop that I can like make a stream room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like have like a cool trader stream room and deck it out that way. So that's really what I want one for, but my boat will definitely be in the background.
Trading from the boat.
Trading from the boat, yes.
I just saw a really cool ad. I don't know how often you guys like travel with your setups, but it was a suitcase with built-in monitors. And you basically, you flipped it open. It was a hard case, 2 monitors inside and stands below. So you flip it open, 2 24-inch monitors. But it was like $3,500. I was like, my goodness, I don't know if I travel enough. It'd be easier to buy a monitor everywhere I go. But I've been looking for like a solid, I don't know if you guys have any recommendations for like travel monitors, but it's kind of hard to pack up a real monitor.
I have some those travel monitors that like attach to your laptop. Have like a little kickstand on the back of them to where you can prop your monitor up. But yeah, it gives me like a tri-screen setup.
Yeah, those are how big is yours though?
I'd have to look. They're not like huge.
Yeah, but I mean I've seen those before, but they're typically pretty small. I like to have like at least 24 inches rolling, but that's kind of hard to travel with.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Technologia.
I'll be staying in Pompano, Florida after the NinjaTrader meetup, and so I'll be there for just about a week in Pompano, and I'll be streaming on NinjaTrader from the travel setup actually one day that week.
Nice. Yeah, I'm currently on the road right now, and we'll be.
Timothy says, I can build you an awesome trade room in your garage or build you an add-on ground level floor like a sunroom. There you go.
There it is. I'll hit you up. Got the hookup now. Well, these shorts are still looking really good, man.
Yeah, they are. I want this Russell to drop, though. Russell led the way down at the beginning. Got that new low around 130, 120, and the NQ and the ES really went pushing lower, but I'm hoping it can drop. I actually like if I weren't in anything and wanted to get short 101, I'd probably be looking at the Russell just because the trade location is a little higher in the range.
Mm-hmm.
If we are going to drop here, they're all going to drop. That's not, they're all trading together primarily. But yeah, as long as oil, I mean, because Leo mentioned earlier that, for now it looks like the oil index correlation or inverse correlation is broken. But I'm still thinking, I mean, if oil makes another push up towards highs, and it's not far off it, that we are going to get this flush.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can see that. I'm targeting. I would like to see us come back to the IB mid there. My original target is 64s, which we're getting pretty close to. I will probably just trail at that point because this is looking pretty heavy to the downside. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see us come even lower than the IB mid. Maybe I think you're even targeting lows, is what you said. I believe.
Yeah, well, yeah. I got more. One of them's at 60, but I have a 10 on in 2 different orders with the cover for 7. But I'm gonna leave 3 on just to see if we collapse in the close. I'm gonna cover 7 here at 26,351. and leave a third of my position on for a potential take out of lows. I do think there's a good chance we take out lows. I mean, as Jim said, there's a 50% chance we take out lows. So
pretty good odds.
Yeah. I mean, those are really good odds considering this momentum to the downside here. And I wouldn't look for a lot through low. So, but I am going to be looking through lows. So I'm just going to leave that there. And looks like I'm going to get this 7 off here quick and take the sweat off my brow.
My screen for I think it is frozen. The production team will fix it. Did get close to that IB mid. We got down.
Yep. What prior day higher now?
370.
Prior day high in NQ 26,376. Creeping back into yesterday's range.
There you go, chat. My screen's back.
Would be a bad spot for a long here. I know it's kind of heavy. It's kind of a heavy tape, but it's technically a pretty good spot for stab it along. I see some buying coming in, but it's not quite aggressive enough for me. Kind of at the edge here of value. Prior day high right there. Yesterday's close just below it.
Just moved my Russell trade on the screen. Sometimes I forget that only the right side of my screen is shown.
Yeah.
There you go. Got that one on. Gets out of the way.
I want to see a strong push below 364.
Take a step here.
Yeah, Joe, not a bad idea.
Still kind of weak.
Monitor in the room or taking the TV and connecting it with HDMI.
Joey had an Ethernet port installed on his boat just for trading. Exactly right. In fact, my fish finders are gonna have my charts. when I go fishing, my fish finder monitors are gonna have charts on them.
Dude, you're gonna become a TikTok sensation with that. I believe in you. I'm rooting for it. I will come down to Missouri and fish with you if you can somehow get charts on the boat.
That would be I kind of want to figure a way because that would be pretty sick. It's a great content idea.
Got stopped on that first trade. I'm going to put it back on, though, right here. Prior day close. There's just a lot of buying coming in. They're starting to pull off the offer a bit. It's like totally different than what we've seen on this trip down. They've been wanting to do that. Oh, okay. They've been I've been getting kind of wicked out on some of these moves. Happened yesterday a couple of times. Even with the ranges being compressed, it just seems like it's NQ's moving a little more to those into the wicks than typically. Still not.
About to come on my targets here. About 6 points away. Stay off the bid for me for 6 more points, Leo. Just let me.
6 more points. I've got room. Yeah, you can get the 6.
Just let me get my 6.
See if they change the tune here. They're trying, but then that offer just steps right back on it, right in those 64s.
All right, I'm gonna take my position off there at the 70. Um, that was a really good trade from 459s down to 370s.
Let's go.
Nice work.
Money.
Yeah, I can definitely see us bouncing up here for the next pullback, though. Unfortunately, came with 3 points for my target right now. Let's check over on CL. What are you doing?
My original, I mean, my TP target was that 364 IB mid, and we did get a push below it. Seeing the buyers come in off that IB mid, it made sense for me to take it off. Just given that that was my final TP, I really was gonna try to trail it. If we could stay below IB mid, I was gonna trail it as we continue to lower pretty aggressively. But seeing the buyers come here at the midpoint, it just made sense to take it off.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna get a decent push out as well, maybe up to 432s. A weak push, I think, would get rejected at 96 area here. No new low divergence between the Russell. I don't really watch too much divergence between the Russell and the index, and between the Nasdaq and the Russell, because the Russell is, so much less weight than the NQ. But interesting to see the Russell didn't really participate in that sell off.
And Josh says Joey may not be catching them fish, but he caught the trade. Hey, I caught some fish. I got proof. Jack saw it.
I saw a pic. That fish is real.
Even though some people say it's AI.
The goldfish picture was quite funny. Leo, did you pick that up there?
Yeah, I'm taking some off right here, actually.
Nice.
Scaling out some.
Good.
Nice trade, Leo. It's a good entry.
Thanks.
He's a sniper.
Had to take it twice.
Shawnee says, how long did it take you guys to be profitable from when you started? Also, did you lose money learning?
4 years.
Yeah.
And yes.
Yeah.
And yes.
I think everybody's lost money when learning. I think that's just that's the guarantee. That when you learn you're gonna lose money.
My upside target in CL, if we hold these lows, is going to be a 95.80, but I'm kind of under the assumption we can drop down to 94.15 area. It looks like we're going to bounce up to 32s.
Leo with a killer long.
Be looking for this low volume node here for potential resistance as we push up here to the VWAP. So I'm looking to trim some there.
Absolute snipe entry. that shelf we broke down from is going to be interesting if we retest that, just that general 26,440 area that held during lunch.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like a double distribution, more like a double distribution than it is Gaussian. Like from a volume perspective, there's just a nice volume build here from the early morning session, volume building here, and this low volume node is separated, the morning from kind of that afternoon push. Early afternoon, I'll say. So
Yeah.
this area really should be kind of that over under. Sellers can reinitiate in here at the top edge of this profile right here, 24-hour VWAP, if they wish to. They're selling into this right now, so I'll be fingers on the trigger to take a few more of these contracts off. Just trying to give it some time.
MBA, I stopped trading options. I used to trade options when I first started. I also started in 2008. So like the level of information that was out there was extremely limited. Streaming didn't even exist. So I don't know if I could say like one thing really clicked, to be honest, outside of I stopped trading options, which were realistically just a bad thing for me to be trading. I think trading options when you first start, especially with a small account, is really difficult.
It was too stressful for me. I started with options, but it was just like you're usually carrying like 4 or 5 different positions. It's more like swing trading than, you're not really day trading options I think is you might as well just piss your money down the toilet.
100%.
So you're always, buying time and things like that. I'm going to take a couple more off here. You're always buying time and, any type of news, whatever can change the whole tape overnight. And when I was doing it was in Trump's first presidency. And, those markets, I think, were even crazier than what we've had the last 2 years here.
No, you're right. I mean, some of that upside move that we had like post-COVID was so insane. There's been so many. I personally think the best markets and really the only markets I would ever like really focus on trading options is extreme short squeezes that like you really like. Carvana right now, I'm eyeing that, and I would like only trade it on a Friday for a potential like minimum 500x trade. Like
yeah, Friday expirations, yeah.
Yeah, and that's only because Carvana is up 400% in a month. So sooner or later, that thing's going to come crashing down, or like the SLV blow up, like that was on a Friday. Those are the only times I'll trade options.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to single stock, futures.
Same. Yep.
Yeah.
Same.
It's gonna think
it's on that yet.
The CME has suggested summer, late Q2, into Q3. It would be my guess.
Yeah.
For here.
Speaking of, what do you guys think about the PDT rule being removed?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's it's just kind of too late for my opinion. Like I think a big part of retail trading is moving to futures personally, and the more things like single stock futures, sports futures, any of the prediction market stuff, more of that moves over to the CME into futures, I think is great. I think the trading on a centralized exchange, where there's more transparency is great. I think there's just better tools available from a retail perspective for the futures markets as opposed to single name individual stocks.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely looking forward to, there's a 300 lot offer chasing this down. All right,
Yeah, they're playing catch up with that PET rule.
you see these offers start to chase down here. The 300 lot showed up, and then they've got 100 lot. They've just split up the order. They really want to get filled, apparently.
This 32 level, which is the 50% retracement from that afternoon high. So this is where I was offer. And it's also just those lows we broke down.
That's right. Yeah, it's right in that low volume area we're in.
Couple things there, giving people reasons to sell. But yeah, the PET rule, it's a little too late. Like, if you got to think about it, like back in the day when that rule came out, you used to call your broker, he charged you $70, and then you hang up the phone. There was no online brokeraging. And the reason they wrote that rule was to prevent, basically people from completely ruining their account by placing too many trades. Well, we've been far past that. When I first started trading, it was like Scott trades, $7 trades. Every trade was like, that was the thing. That was as low as it got. Now you have free stock trades, and we've had free stock trades for how many years now? I'm not even sure. Like 5, 6, 7 years. It's been free to trade. But the reason they wrote that rule is because back in the day, you used to pick up the phone, call your broker, and it cost you like $70 or more to place that trade. And if you place a few trades a day, it's not hard to lose, $300-400 a day, literally placing trades.
Yeah.
But yeah, just standard government behavior coming up with a fix way after it's a problem.
Leo, you still in that long?
Yeah, I have trimmed out a bit, but I have 3 left.
Let's go. That was quite the sniper entry. I mean, bouncing right off the IB mid.
Take one more here. Gonna do 2.
Mario, good luck on your trip, Joey. All good. Caught the IB failure on all accounts. Green now. Enjoy your vacation. Let's go, dude. GG's. Glad you caught it. I caught it as well. It was nice to see an IB failure actually play out this week, because it has not happened. So it was this was like the first time this week that I felt very confident in shorting the IB high, and so I'm glad to see it played out for you as well.
From an entry perspective, what is the criteria for you on getting into that? Because I see we've dipped in. Yeah, we dipped into the IB like 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah, so I wasn't at my chart during these times that we dipped in, so it would have been something that I paid attention to. However, this third time when I saw us dip into it on the I pay attention to the 5-minute time frame. It's pretty much where I live as far as executions. And so when I see, us dip into the IB and then we have a really good weak close on price coming back into the IB, that would signal for me to get short off the IB high. Like if you see here, like as an example, I did front run this a little bit, but even this candle here, when we had this really weak close on the 5-minute back into the IB range, that was a pretty clear indication that we were going to see a little bit further movement down. But also too, just take into account, like, us really finding that strong weakness off the high there we had up at like 562. I mean, the aggressive selling that we had coming back down to IB and us never really able to navigate away from it, and then seeing the weakness continue to push us in was also an indicator for me to get short there. But if I had to give like the actual criteria, it would be I want to see us really distribute back into the IB range, have that good weak close on a 5-minute time frame, and I'll take the short from there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then obviously, like, if I'm going to take the longs on the IB, be vice versa on the low side, right? I mean, breaking the IB low, finding that strength, good 5-minute closure above the IB there. And there are times where I don't need a closure either. I can, if we're really seeing price move into the IB range and has that good momentum behind it, it can turn into a momentum entry where I see the strong momentum behind price moving it into the range, and I'll take the trade based off that as well. Let's see. Wait, Joey, I haven't tried yet, but have you ever tested changing the IB hours so you're working it in 1 hour windows? Changing the IB hours. So I'm not sure what you mean, but the initial balance is always the first hour of the session, right? So like for New York, I'm Central Time. So, market opens for me at 8:30. The initial balance range would be 8:30 to 9:30 for me, or if you're Eastern, it'd be 9:30 to 10:30. It's always the first hour, no matter what. It never changes. If you're changing time frames, then it wouldn't be considered IB. IB is always the first hour. It doesn't change.
Question for Jack and Leo: when you guys stream in the afternoon, do you look to take trades earlier in the morning, or you just wait until your afternoon stream? I mean, I trade the open predominantly, and then anytime I'm on for the afternoon, I usually have the charts closed, so I'm not, actively looking for something. But when they're open and we're getting ready to come on, if there's a good setup, I'll take it. But I try to just show up and see what trades become, present themselves during the stream. So I know that's, it's not like optimal. I took another off here at the IB, so I'm down to one. It's probably not like optimal to kind of limit that window, so to speak, but
yeah,
that's just kind of how I approach it.
Yeah, I don't wait to trade to be on stream. I just happen to, it's just I'm on stream, usually once a day, Monday through Thursday, and I trade the morning and the afternoon. I'll break usually from like 11 to 1:30 or get off but sometimes I'll have trades on, but my trading schedule absolutely does not revolve. I mean, sometimes I'll trade Asia. I'll trade 3 sessions some days if the market's moving in my field. How I bracket my orders is I basically take one target, stop, goes to break even after 2 targets, and then I have a runner. I do mess around, of course, manually moving some things around, but I feel pretty comfortable just getting a reaction off my trade, and I'm able to take off 1/3. It takes a lot of the pressure off, trying to time everything, and I just try to stick as mechanical as possible. And I when I do too much, trying to figure out what every other bar is moving, I overtrade, and overtrading, I think for most people, including myself, is not something that results in good results. But I predetermine support and resistance levels, and then My trade process is basically determining a bias, finding an entry, reducing risk, and then looking for a runner. And it doesn't matter what time of day it is.
Luca, if you're in TradingView, just go into indicators and type in IB first hour and you'll see it come up.
Are there any good order flow tools for TradingView? No, because TradingView doesn't have order flow data. So if you see somebody advertising an order flow tool in TradingView, you should run the other way. Even TradingView's own footprint that they sell for $1,000 a month is not accurate.
That's wild. 1,000 a month.
Yeah, I think it's like in their premier premium something. It's not even close to accurate. I think they do the same like with the volume profiles. They guesstimate what hit the bid or the offer. They're not actually taking in like the tick level data and reconstructing it.
You'd think you'd pay for what you get, but it doesn't sound like that's the case there.
They just do uptick and downtick. Yeah. Inaccurate data. Loving the OFL freemium tools. Nice. It's crazy expensive, not worth it, and also not accurate. And I'll stand on that statement. That's a Leo statement. That's not a NinjaTrader statement. Just to be clear. I don't want to get in trouble. Do you need second level data for the DOM? You do. I mean, you don't have to have it, but top of book wouldn't really do any good for you if, you would just see the first number, best bid, best ask, and nothing else. You'd still have the like volume profile, the delta profile, and the time and sales and all that. So there would be some utility there, but you would want full market depth to take advantage of full advantage of what's available from the order book. Do you just use NT for charting and execution? I use NT and another platform, which I won't name.
Yeah, the thing about trading oil right now is I'm kind of staying away from it. We're having rollover right now, basically in CL, I believe. So I don't know if I'll be trading it for the remainder of the day. I am watching it, but probably going to be some people. I mean, most people have probably rolled, but going into the last hour of the contract, I'd rather just avoid it.
King Charles IV. I do have a template for that. I can post it on Twitter. I may have done one in the past, but I don't think I've done one for version 7. How often does the cumulative leg delta refresh? It's just based on the swing. So right now we're anchored from this low, and we've made a rotation of, I don't remember what I set this to. I'm testing this new one because it's going to be free. It's set to 150 ticks right now. So if we make a rotation down of 150 ticks, it will reset from the high. But as long as we keep building from this leg here upwards, we'll continue to build out this volume profile and this delta profile right here. And then on the DOM, you can do the same thing. So the functionality is basically equal in the DOM that exists on the chart. So the DOM is compressed, right? So you're getting like 12 ticks of compression here. This is just every tick. So you can get a feel for what are we doing in the whole range, and then what are we doing at every tick. Because sometimes there's like big differences, and so you would want to be aware of, if there's like a boatload of absorption, kind of like what we're seeing right here, and then all of a sudden somebody hits 300 lots on the bid, it wouldn't really show up because of all these deltas here. So that's just like one example of how you can take kind of a picture of the whole grouping, like grouping together of levels, and then, like tick level, like what happened at, 22 and a quarter. What do you look backs on the volume profile? There's no look back. It's just like we're anchored to this leg here, and this profile here is the session. So it just starts at 8:30 Central, RTH open, and then just builds the whole day. And this one is just from the swing points. So there's no real look back. You compress your DOM. Hey man, that's cool. XYZ compresses his too. Do you ever trade in the middle of a D-shaped profile? Is that a bad idea? It depends on the context. Like right now, I wouldn't place a trade because we're just kind of, we rallied, to the top of the range, fell back in, to the lower edge. We're bouncing back to the middle of the range. Not really a great trade here. I know the old saying is like, don't diddle in the middle. But there's times where it may make sense to diddle in the middle. One of those would be, okay, so like if we're just chopping around the middle of a range, there's no great trade there, right? But if you have a very well-defined distribution and you get a breakout from that, and then that return back to fair value may be defended, by buyers, right? They're getting that. They've seen what happened. Other buyers stepped in. So they may take that middle of value, the middle of the distribution, and use that for support. Same thing for like a breakdown. So generally speaking, like not a great idea to diddle in the middle when the day is balanced, but there are scenarios where if you get a breakout from the balance or a breakdown from the balance, that it may actually make sense to initiate a trade from the middle of the profile. You're welcome, Mr. Monopoly Man. Do you pay your bills in Monopoly money? That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah, let me know if you know how to do that. I love that. Strategy.
In 500s. You pay your federal taxes in Monopoly money? Is that the trick? It's all Monopoly money, really, if you think about it. A Top Gun 3 is officially in the works? What? That can't be true.
Last movie I went to see in the movie theater was Top Gun 2.
That was actually the last one I went to, Jack.
That's funny. I mean, it was like, this the only one that was like worth me going to a movie theater for. That's how I felt. I was like,
yeah,
I'll see that in the movie theater. It's not going to perform like it would in the movie theater in my own home. And I mean, I think it did great at the box office. Not that I'm a huge movie buff, but
yeah. For those poker players out there, I messaged Stowe yesterday actually, because I was just reminiscing on like how good the online poker world was back before Black Friday. And it was literally just like an occurrence to me. And then I got on Twitter later in the day, and yesterday was actually the 15-year anniversary of Black Friday. It just happened to be 15 years to the day. And I was like, damn, I didn't realize. I was complaining to Stowe. I was like, it's so stupid that it's illegal. It was amazing 15 years ago. Yeah. Just would be it'd be fun to be able to play, it's a game of skill. People don't understand that. Wish it was there. Wish it was available.
Automation, though. I mean, I would imagine just all the games are filled with bots, just calculating every move.
Especially with AI.
Yeah, screen readers and multiple accounts at the same tables.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was just such a good time. Live games are where it's at. They're still pretty weak. You host a cash game at your place? I'm coming. What's the buy-in?
Don't say that too loud.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, send the address.
Don't say it too loud, but send me your address.
Oh man, this turned out to be a poor management on me.
Did I long 270? No, I didn't trade this morning. What was 275? 275. I'm looking. 275. Oh, damn. So you're like, did I long the low of day? No, I didn't. It looks like a Leo setup. Yeah. I would say like the Leo setup would be 291. $100-point runner. It's always good. I mean, they may buy this up into the afternoon.
Yeah, we're cracking back above IB high on NASDAQ right now. IB high is at 453. You're trading at 464. There's some pretty good strength coming back up out of the IB range. So we very well could. Maybe even, retesting those 500s there. Thank you.
You're long 382. Nice trade, Amped. No follow through in K.
Leo, you longed the very bottom of that move.
Yeah.
You still in or did you get out?
I've still got one left.
Okay.
I'm just kind of watching. I'm monitoring the situation.
Yeah. Get you a little casual 100-pointer. Yeah, we have trend 460s. I mean, yeah, there's a level up at 500 that I wouldn't be surprised if we go tap, especially as we get out of this IB range and we're seeing strength back above it. This would have been a good IB mid play. I mean, you basically caught the IB mid without trading the IB, but this would have been a great IB mid play. Just looking at price action, like obviously I'm looking in hindsight. But yeah, seeing how we reacted there, we did break below the IB mid on the 5 minute, seeing a nice wick coming out of the IB mid there and strong bullishness right immediately after. Been a great long. If we know anything about this week, we know that buyers have been very persistent in raising this market up.
What do you mean, Joey? It went straight up. What are you talking about?
Huh?
Huh?
What do you mean?
One of you guys is confused.
Yeah,
Same thing.
buyers. I said buyers have been persistent in buying this thing up. What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm just saying, yeah, look at the chart.
Yeah.
Straight up. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you wonder if this thing's going to start going to the left.
I feel like it could if at any point it's going to. It'll be this week.
I mean, yeah, buyers would love to go back in time and be like, yeah, let's just take this fucking, let's go back in time and make it higher.
The day the market goes to the left, I'd be a little bit concerned.
If that starts happening, the hydrogen particle collider might be working a little too well, and they're starting to reverse time.
Oh, this is just a clever bear trap at all-time highs. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to announce a ground invasion next week, and we're going to go right back to take up lows. That would be the most insane move I've ever seen.
It's
Crazy.
the weekend announcements,
It's true. They always do come. The bombings come on the weekends, that's for sure. I think it was he started I knew they weren't going to do it when he had the State of the Union. There was a bunch of speculation, like there's no way he's going to do this before the State of the Union. State of the Union address weekend after.
So what do we have now? Midterms are coming up? When are midterms?
November, maybe? I don't know.
So I mean, that's going to be their focus, run into midterms.
Yeah, for sure. No more political pressure.
Midterms for Stowe in a few weeks. Yeah. He's back in college. You can expect a pump in late summer. I mean, a pump never surprises me.
We are seeing a little bit of trouble there at IB high.
Yeah, we're at the midpoint from highs in both ES and NQ here too. 70.72.5 is the midpoint in the ES, and 26.460s is the midpoint in the NQ. And I guess IB high as well.
Yeah. Also wouldn't surprise me if we just consolidate the rest of the afternoon.
Nothing surprises me anymore.
Yeah.
It's been too long. It's really not a whole lot of compared to the trends we've had this week, this is the least trendy day.
Yeah.
This is the least trendy day. Still higher highs and higher lows. But really the first time we've got continuation for more than just a bit off the highs. I mean, yesterday that sell-off that we had at like 12 o'clock, just immediately no continuation off that sell-off.
Yeah.
It's like 30 minutes down, straight back up all day.
Yeah, I mean, you could just buy it with blindfolds on. Netflix earnings after hours.
Well, yeah.
Time for earnings. And Joey flexing that sit-stand desk.
That's right, dude. I've been sitting all day. You know, I'm the big streamer guy here. I stream all day long, so I gotta stand up.
I feel you.
I've been live. It seems like since pretty much. Well, I have been live since basically market open.
I do that every day.
My posture is like suffering, dude.
Oh, it's the shoulders tightening. Just got to remind yourself to bring them back.
No pressure, Joey, but who's got the best chat? Which live stream has the best chat?
Which live stream has the best chat?
Answer carefully and correctly.
Yeah. Every chat has their positives and negatives. I would say this chat is by far the best for traders coming in, asking questions, and wanting to learn and get better at trading. The absolute best at that.
Are we buying that chat? Are we buying that answer? I think you missed your calling for politician.
Yeah. Because the other chats I just get roasted all day long. That's what they do. But for trading, this is the best for getting better and gaining knowledge and asking questions. By far the best.
Chat, are we buying his answer? Let's see what the chat says.
Hey, what's up, Rocket Scooter? Sounds like Joey needs to get roasted more here.
Joey roasts himself. Self-deprecating humor.
Y'all see that? Y'all see Leo trying to put me in a spot?
It's all in good fun. Agreed. Jim says, I've been doing webinars and chat rooms since 2001. This is the best, not even close. I agree with you, Jim.
Shavkat says I called Joey bag of donuts when he came on, but he's such a nice guy. Why roast Joey?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cover this here. It's look like we could just rotate right back down, right into my entry. There's really no point in holding this runner for back to break even.
Nice hold. That's
a get out.
That trade deserves some likes.
It does.
From 150.
Nice.
GG's, dude.
Thanks.
Chicks are free.
Hands down, just to like kind of back up my statement too, like hands down, chat. I even said this on the previous stream too. Like the amount of experience on this channel on all of these live streams is unmatched, truly. I mean, you have tons of experienced traders on here that, you know, cumulatively, it's incredible the amount of experience that's here. And so for the best place to learn, hands down, like this is it. Like you're in the right spot to learn trading.
Yeah, if we can clear like 26,400, I do think we could.
Now he's just smooching. Okay, chat. All right. I get it. I can't win, bro. I can't win.
It was started off on a rocky foot, Joey, with your political answer. You know, that's where the chat sniffed it out.
It's the safe play.
I'm just messing. We know we have the best chat here. It's not a question.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Tell you what market is trending lower is copper right now. You know, I mean, you probably trade that, but
you've been trading that lately?
little bit. I like that it has
Yeah.
a micro because I can size appropriately, and
Yeah.
I'll trade it. This little trend thing I have that I've built. Anytime we go like bear or bull, I'd like to gravitate towards those markets if I'm kind of out of trade ideas.
Yeah.
And right now, the only market reading bear on both my two scans is MHG or copper, micro copper, and just take a look at that copper chart. It is just rolling over. So I don't have an entry on it right now, but I will probably be looking for one in the Asia session.
Speaking of stream chat, we have 809 viewers and 173 likes. Math isn't mathing there. We have the best chat here, chat. We should have 300 likes.
How about a chat appreciation day?
I appreciate all you in the chat.
What are your other streams, Joey? I stream on my channel every morning, and then there's some other streams that I'm on, but I won't promote like other streams. But usually my stream in the morning and some other streams when I get asked to be on.
You're cheating on us. But yeah, I know I mentioned copper. I have my chart of copper off the screen, but this is what it looks like. Let me bring it into view. It's not that much liquidity in the MHG, but just you can see high, low, high, rejection, lower, low. So then we have to, I don't know. I actually don't know if I'll be trading Asia today because I'm going to dinner with my parents, but I would like to short up into the next bounce if we can get it.
What's my YouTube channel? The NinjaTrader just posted my Twitter handle there. You can find my YouTube channel right there on Twitter.
It's Joey Fishes.
No.
Joey Fishes.
The Twitter handle there, Joey Morgan NQ. It's that across all socials.
My parents do not trade. My parents know nothing about trading.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, living in Chicago, I grew up with a lot of friends whose dads traded, and just having the pits of Chicago. There's a lot of people I knew whose parents were in the pits, or still are. But I mean, guys who made crazy amounts of money, and then typically pursued other things with their money once their edge disappeared, or lost it all. You don't walk away until you walk away. If you're putting millions of dollars at risk every year, the market can take it back if things change and you're stubborn.
It's very true.
It's the game we play.
How hot does it get in Oklahoma. Usually we'll have a good 20 to 30 days of over 100 degrees.
Wow.
I'd say like 101, 102, 103, the low hundreds. Not like back to back. I mean, we will have some back to back days like that, but it's a dry heat, kind of like a blowtorch.
You make it sound so nice. Sitting
Leo,
under
did you
the
have
blow-
some bad storms over there?
They kept warning of bad weather, but we haven't really nothing major to speak of.
No.
Always windy? No, it's not always windy. It's windier, like it's just a windy area because it's the plains, but it's not always like howling wind. What about, did you guys have any, Joey?
Yeah, we had some pretty bad storms here. There was a tornado that was there was in a town that's north of me. But yeah, we had some like pretty insane winds
Yeah.
last night.
Yeah, I would say my parents did not encourage me to trade. No, there's no encouragement for my parents to go trade.
It's windy here because Kansas sucks and Texas blows. That's the joke.
Stuck in the middle. Where in the handle are you?
Literally, I'm in the dead center.
How long does it take to drive from one side of that state to the other?
Oklahoma?
Yeah.
I think it would be 8 hours.
Wow.
Somebody in production is really looking for trouble. Those are fighting words. My dad pushed you into zero DTE options and leverage ETFs. Your dad sounds like one of us.
Your dad sounds like he might be in jail.
Fucking legend. Drove from St. Louis to Tucson. Oh, he's dead. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Probably a heart attack.
Jack.
If I were I mean, he's clearly joking.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it was all a joke? You're just okay. He's just trolling now. Just oh man. Jack's choosing violence.
Holy.
Yeah, I have never, I don't know anybody's dad that knows what 0-day options are unless they're like heavily involved in finance.
Well, my my mother is she's into her 70s and she does some 0 DT stuff.
That's crazy. I love that.
Yeah. She used to call me and like when the market, it's always at the extremes of the market, right? It's like we're down, 4%. We wake up and we're down 4%. She would call me and say, should I buy puts? Should I get, do I need to buy puts to hedge my long positions? Whatever. I'm like, no, you should just buy more longs. Like, look, you're talking about your long-term portfolio. Just just buy more long. Like,
yeah.
And she would do like VIX options, and she would get totally washed out. Like, I'm sorry, but like getting short or long VIX at extremes of the range is just a bad idea. So one time, I remember one time she bought VIX at like 30, and that day it dropped. We had like a huge correction or a rally, and she was underwater by like 40%.
Yeah, volatility trading is interesting. I have some friends that there's a lot of people that just specialize in trading volatility. I mean, once the VIX gets low enough, you just kind of buy it and wait till we explode higher. Try to get some timing in it. But the Volmageddon, were you guys trading during the Volmageddon? I even forgot what year was that. Was that 2015? Volmageddon.
Yeah.
Anybody?
I wasn't trading during that time. It started kind of after that.
2018. Yeah, that was crazy. I used to trade that. They called it the sexy, the SVXY. And
SEXY.
yeah. Or SVXY, I think was the ticker. I don't know. Yeah, I think it completely blew up. But that trade was crazy. Oh, no, it didn't. There's a couple of vol ETFs that literally just, or ETNs, they refer to them as, just completely ceased to exist because the move was so big that the whole thing just got liquidated.
Let's see how long.
Boy, NASDAQ really chilled out here at IBI.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm short from like, I mean, we haven't barely moved into my entry, but we haven't barely moved against me or towards my direction either. It's kind of a re-entry of where I was short earlier, and I'm just ticking on the clock here, hoping I mean, I do think in the last 30 minutes we're going to do something here. Copper about to get a new low today, but I'm just gonna. I want to just crack the lows so I can tighten this stop up and hope for a flush.
It would take 7 hours to drive east to west through Oklahoma. 7 hours.
Road trip.
You should have a burner Leah's mom. That's funny. Hey, there's some good alpha there. Yeah, not gonna lie. Mom calls me in a panic. Time to get along.
I'm gonna bring copper in over again just to show you guys what that chart's doing. Just since we talked about it, just breaking down right on lows of the day. But yeah, if I'm ever on stream and you guys are curious about different markets and want to like take a look at this analyzer, I've been working on it for quite some time, and it's just actually got like a draft of it a couple weeks ago, and it's been pretty well at spotting trends. And there's your new low on copper. I think Netflix is going to be the first significant earnings that I'm aware of, at least in the tech sector.
Yeah, I was looking at the calendar and there's nothing else really out there.
Yeah, since this whole kind of rally started. I mean, if it's a huge beat, I could see it being like the overnight opportunity fade. Like one more smash up. That thing's had a fat run out of lows. My God. So it's down at 70. It's almost off 100% of the lows this year. Well, not quite, but lows are 74, highs are 10. Well, we're at 108 right now from 74. But yeah, so be careful holding into the close here today.
Gold's been stuck at that level that you and I talked about yesterday, Jack.
Yeah, I've taken a couple trades out the 48-10 zone, but it's some contraction right now, so I'm staying away from it until it makes a move here.
Yeah. I caught that good bounce there from 811 when we went back up to 32s. I caught it from 811 to about 830.
Yeah, that was a nice move. This
got out of it, and then we're just kind of right back down to where we've been basing.
Yep. I literally bought that level 410 last night, or it was actually a little higher than 410, but we opened up right at this area on the 6 o'clock open, and I just bid and put a stop below the low today, and we ran up. I ran up freaking 40, 50 points from that level.
Yeah.
And right back here just seems to be a magnet. This 48 tens. Oil taken out to most recent swing low.
I think gold could, I mean, as long as we, obviously we keep basing here, I think gold could set up for another good long at some point from this level.
Yep. No, I agree. If we start making a move back up to 48.20s, I'll look to, buy a pullback here. I mean, this just seems like that 48.10 area is like a good base where you can kind of put your stop below, and
yeah,
if I'm waiting. Start moving my stop down. This has been too long here. Gonna go right above this high. Eight-point stop.
NASDAQ just can't seem to navigate away from IB high. We're getting a little bit of a buyers come through, pushing us back above the high. Just kind of ping-ponging back and forth above and below.
What is the acronym they use for like all of the big tech stocks now? I know it's changed so many times. I can't keep track of it, and I don't really trade stocks. Is there one that's like common now?
Mag 8, right?
Is that what it is? Mag A. Magnificent. Yeah, Magnificent 8. Magnificent 8. Yeah, before it was like 4, then it was 5. Now I guess it's 8.
It was 7.
Yeah.
It was the Mag 7.
Mag 7. What is it? Amazon, Google, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple,
Tesla.
Is Netflix in there?
Netflix. No. I don't
Yeah, it
think
was
so.
FANG for a while. I don't know. Oops.
For the Mag 7, it was Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Meta, NVIDIA, and Tesla.
Oh, AVGO's in there now? Yeah, NVIDIA. Yeah, right. It's 8 now. Like I said, I can't keep up with it. Netflix is going to be the first one since this rally that's going to be reporting. I guess.
Yeah, Netflix was Yeah, when they're referring to the Mag 8, Netflix is included into that.
Yeah. Interesting. Walmart replaced Netflix as terms of weight. See, this is why I like to ask chat questions. It's a source, it's a resource. Walmart is now a tech stock.
Opus, the new Opus 4, whatever model came out. You guys started messing with that at all? 4.7 or whatever.
That's why NinjaTrader chat's the best chat, right?
That's right. That's the right answer.
For you quad lovers.
I was waiting for Leo to come after me on that.
Nah, bro, I already did my attack. What's funny is whenever Chris and I get on together and we start going at it just for fun, production has actually asked, "Are you guys good?"
You know what's really funny is so on my stream on my own channel, I brought on my best friend. We've been friends for 17 years. He now co-hosts with me on my stream. And our banter gets like kind of intense, and some people actually think we're legit fighting, and there's like legit heated moments. It's comical.
Yeah.
Speaking of Chris would be proud of me. I got the 6R today.
Yeah, I think I got this. I got like, 8R, Chris. I got the R's.
You guys talking about pirates?
Chris is always talking about his R's.
He collects pirates, parrots,
He collects R's.
R's.
I will see you later, Market Maker Mario.
Market Maker Mario is my boy.
Won't see me tomorrow, but he'll see others tomorrow. Just missed your TP by 1 tick. Damn.
Stuff happened to me earlier.
Hate that. Where did Market Maker Mario's name come from?
I forced him to change it. It used to be just Mario, and then I forget like how the conversation got started, but there was a running joke about him being a market maker, and I told him, okay, from here on out, at this point, you have to change your name to Market Maker Mario because it had a nice ring to it. It was the triple M's.
Yeah, it does have a nice ring.
Yeah, so it made sense. From there, he changed it. Joey is the cult leader. He sets the names. I don't have a cult.
Do you have a cult, Joey?
No, I don't have a cult.
Are you trying to make one?
Maybe. Want to join?
Hell yeah, I want to. Let's make a cult.
Well, you better find out what's involved with that cult before you sign up. Joey might put you on a boat for a full day.
No, I'm out. I can't do fishing boats, man. We talking about if we get on a ski boat, I'm good.
I have considered buying a ski boat so we can go wakeboarding and stuff. I grew up on a wakeboard.
Yeah. You're gonna go in the double boat category? You're gonna have 2 boats?
I might, yeah. I might.
I grew up on the skis. Slalom skiing was my thing. I never got into wakeboarding because I don't know, just like it became really popular right as my parents sold their boat, when I was younger. But I was definitely big into the skiing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Slalom skiing is pretty goated. I mean, you can get speeds you can hit on that on one ski are pretty intense.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we had a boat dock on one of the big lakes from where I'm from, and I was out there like every weekend, and we would go boating, go wakeboarding. It's a good time.
Yeah,
Do y'all? I don't know if y'all remember. Do you remember the kite tubes? Have you seen those?
kite tubes.
Kite tubes, like for people when people go like tubing, it's legit a kite tube. They had to ban them because people were like dying because they would go so high up in the air. If wind caught underneath it, it was legit like a kite. If wind caught underneath it, it would shoot you straight up in the air. And
Uh,
people were falling off of them from like high altitudes on
that
them and hitting the
certainly
water during.
sounds dangerous.
Dude, it's super dangerous. One of my friends, his mom like broke her rib cage from falling off of it into the water. Because
Damn.
it's like hitting concrete when you're that high up and you're behind a boat going whatever miles per hour
Mhm.
and hitting the water like that, bro. Like people were legit dying off of them. They had to ban them.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, we don't need people dying. It's not good.
It was so crazy because like when we first got it, we were experimenting with it in a cove and like there wasn't enough wind. So I was out of my friend group. They took me out into the open water where it was windier, and I was the first one to like catch air off that tube and go straight up. And dude, it was like the scariest thing I've ever done. Dude, I never did it again. It was insane. If y'all haven't seen those kite tubes, look it up. It's crazy how high you get up on those things.
We're lucky to have you here, Joe.
Yeah. Lucky to be alive.
We would have never known who you were. Yeah, the amount of dumb things I used to do as a child, they're like you just have no concept of like physical risk,
Yeah.
like in what you're putting yourself in. And I cannot believe I've never broken a bone or like sprained anything. Although I did chug milk like a cow as a child, and I am convinced that's why I haven't broken anything.
My brother used to yell at me for how much milk I would drink. I would like come inside from playing basketball or skateboarding or whatever, and I would just chug milk from the gallon. And he'd be like,
Wow, straight from the gallon.
"Oh
That's
yeah,
against
dude.
the rules.
Dude.
No,
No,
straight from the gallon, bro."
I gotta be honest, bro. I did the same thing as a kid. I could still chug milk if I wanted to.
Mhm.
I used to have the milk man. We in the Chicagoland area, if anybody's from here ever heard, we had Oberwise, which is like kind of like they deliver it in glass bottles, drop it off. Anybody here know what Oberwise is?
2% to the head. Hell yeah. Dutch Daniels knows what's up.
Yeah, now the milk's back in the fridge with the kid. She's still sipping on that whole milk. Loves her milk. I don't have older brothers. I have two younger brothers. I am the older brother. Older sister, 4 kids in my family. Older sister, 2 younger brothers. How about you guys? What's your family? What's your growing up? You said you have
I've got
brother.
an older brother, 4 years older. Yeah. That's it.
I have 2 half sisters and a half brother. One of my half sisters actually is she's from Spain. She lives here in the U.S., but she's actually from Spain, and so that was one of the reasons why I was learning Spanish was because like she's obviously fluent and I could like speak to her in Spanish. But yeah, pretty cool.
A couple of Overwise fans in here. Yeah, growing up with brothers and sisters is fun. I don't know. I definitely would be a different person if I was an only child. Caused a lot of trouble. But yeah, nobody in my family broke any bones because
I didn't know, bro. No bones were broken here.
that's right. No chuggers. Joey, no bones? No bones broken?
And no, I definitely did.
You didn't drink enough milk, brother.
Dude,
Yeah,
I broke my wrist because I was I went not wakeboarding, I went skimboarding or skimboarding. I was in Galveston, Texas. I was skimboarding along the beach, and you know, like when the water comes up, it like can pack the sand down, make it a little bit harder of a surface. The skimboard came out from under me, and I went to catch myself, and my wrist snapped. when I caught myself. So I broke my wrist skimboarding in Galveston.
Yikes.
How many points did you capture? All of them. I got all of the points.
Every single one of them from market open till now, I've gotten every single point.
Yeah, honestly, that is not something I calculate. I traded 5 different markets today, so it's kind of hard to keep track of.
Yeah, it is. If I had to guess, just going off my past couple of trades, I mean, that was my last trade on NinjaTrader, that was about a 100-pointer. And then gold before that, I took 20. So I would say I'm anywhere probably somewhere like 150 today. If I had to guess, it would be somewhere in that range.
All right, what do you guys think Netflix is up or down? Who's guess?
I haven't really kept up with Netflix a whole lot. I don't know.
I'm guessing. We're guessing.
I'm gonna
Guessing.
go.
I'm gonna go down.
The numbers. Let's see. I'm gonna go with numbers are up. I'm gonna say there's gonna be a negative reaction to that.
Ooh, that's a sophisticated.
Yeah, I'm gonna say they're gonna miss earnings. I'm trying to think if there's been any good shows on Netflix they've come out with that have like people have navigated Netflix to go watch, and I just can't think of any.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like the Jake Paul, Stranger Things. I don't know if you guys ever heard of like Dumb Money. That guy Chris something, Camillo or something. He talks about going long, just stocks based on observations that you would make. Like when Stranger Things came out, like Netflix stock was ripping just because how popular that show is.
Yeah. It's just like I can't think of a time where I've heard people be like Netflix, like something popular come on and people navigating towards it. So yeah, I my guess would be down 100%, or they would miss earnings.
I would like to see a miss to get a pullback in the NQ. I don't think that pullback's going to last very long. But I tell you what, if we can drop 100, 150 points in the NQ, it's going to be a buy out of it. That's for sure. Okay, K-pop Demon Hunter, not exactly in my wheelhouse of things I watch, but I do see that.
Okay, yeah, K-pop, yeah, that is true.
I got a question. I got a quick question for you guys. Do you think Jim is going to come back on camera laid in bed, or is he coming back sitting at the desk? We get a poll on that.
I mean,
hey, that's so loud down there.
I want to see what the chat thinks. I want to see what the chat. Okay,
Jim just on his side like this.
I think he's coming. I bet he comes back from the bed or the pool. That's a good call.
He's probably out on the yacht right now.
I'd be jealous if he's at the pool right now. I'm making that move as soon as I get off here.
Pool with or without with the martini. Jim's a stranger to a martini. Come on.
One thing I don't want with Jim is a drinking competition.
I agree with you there, Jack.
I will be on the floor. I probably
will. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go with the bed.
I am too. Yeah.
They're saying poolside because it's the funnier one, but unless he runs down there real quick, I think he's coming from the bed. We'll find out though sooner than later.
I assume he's at the hotel, so I kind of want to see what it's like. So hopefully he's at the pool. I want to know what I'm.
He was down with it. He said it was super nice. At the desk, like a proper gentleman. You don't know Jim like you think you do, Mr. Soap. He's in a sexy robe with a cigar leaning up against that swanky headboard. And
that would be X-Pac.
You really went after it with the description. Okay. The bet is currently losing. I'm going with the bet. Jim's showing up from bedside. The
I'm with you on
Lowe's
that.
in South Beach is super nice.
Yeah. Actually been to the Lowe's trade desk in New York. They're a conglomerate, kind of like Berkshire Hathaway, and they have their own trade desk.
Fade the chat.
I would say the Fed will be the biggest
Attention
surprise.
traders, it's algo time.
Attention traders. What are algos going to do?
No, we'll jam higher.
Pop and sell. For you Dom enjoyers, you should mark on your calendar April the 28th. We are going to be making a big announcement. I wonder what that would be. But I heard in the trade the close on the 28th will be I'll be on with XY, Stowe, and Nick. We'll be talking a lot about the Dom. Do you guys know Al Brooks?
Is that a singer? I feel like I've heard that name. I don't know why. Maybe I'm thinking of Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks was the country singer of my youth. Al Brooks, Price Action Bar by Bar. Dense book. Big price action guy. You ever see RTH and overnight VWAPs just perfectly merge into each other? Yeah, I mean, it makes sense based on what's happened here. Huge price action guy. Okay. Crazy bar counter.
Really should have hopped on that copper short. That thing is clean.
Algos are kind of lackluster, huh?
Algos are not algoing today.
No.
They were on for a minute. They're waiting for Netflix.
Yeah. Yep.
Is he joining NT Live? Who's he? Bar counter guy? I don't think so.
I am excited for that Cam guy that's speaking at the NinjaTrader conference.
Croissant?
Yeah. He's sharp. He's a guy who knows vol and understands VIX related. He's made some pretty big, impressive calls on market movements related to options and volatility structuring.
Why did we mention Al? Because somebody mentioned him in the chat. Do you need a level 2 to use the Dom? You don't have to have a level 2. It's definitely useful. But it's possible to use it without. You'd just be missing the market depth. You would still get some of the other benefits like time and sales, the leg-to-leg profile, delta profile, etc. Since CL is about to close its contract in a few minutes, to expiring contract always finish down at this time. I don't quite understand that question. most people are trading the new contract anyway.
Yeah. Well, this isn't like the oil collapse. I don't know if they have a name for that in 2021. Or was that 2021? No, it's 2020. When oil just went to negative like $34.
I'm not gonna tell you which way, but the chat was wrong for Jim.
Oh, I guess correctly. One thing I did right today. 6 years ago exactly. Really? Okay, interesting. 6 years ago exactly. Oil went to, I don't remember what the low
Negative.
tick was. Yeah, it went negative. It was like over negative 30. It might have gone to 40. I don't remember, but
to this day.
Yeah, because I mean, it wouldn't make sense, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I know it was COVID. I remember watching it. I wish it happened.
Yeah,
I was just sitting there in awe.
it was CME like new. I remember when it was like getting down to 1, and like CME was unsure if it would actually trade because it never had anything trade below 0. They're like, wait, what's going to happen when we breach 0? It's kind of like the Y2K countdown. Like, when the computers hit 2000, are they going to work?
I mean, they did announce that they would allow it to trade negative, like a week before it went.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh man, another slam there in copper. The chart's cliffing.
All eyes on Netflix. I'm still going with down.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Jim,
Yeah.
you're not. I voted for the bed.
You guys were so wrong across the board.
I didn't vote for the bed.
No, I'm going to tell you what I did at the risk of shabbos into this. I went down, did a 30-minute kettlebell workout, came back, showered, hopped on the charts.
Impressive.
Now, the only
I'm
reason Martino
incredibly disappointed to hear this, Jim.
there's an asterisk to this, and this is out of respect. The only reason Martini Eclectic didn't start yet is because it's out of respect for my best drinking buddy of all time. Shy Girl is not here yet.
Oh,
So I'm respectfully waiting.
that's nice.
And the rumor is she's pulling in the driveway any minute.
Nice.
So I won't disappoint anybody tonight, I promise you.
I was hoping you would be laid up in bed.
No. No, Leo, when you get my age, it's like you can't sleep. You just 5 hours at night, doesn't matter what, you're up and just go. You got to keep moving. You never know if you're going to get another day. So you got to keep rolling.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah.
Every day is your last day.
That's the man who just did a kettlebell workout as if he's like laying in his hospice care.
Kettlebell.
Kettlebell.
Yeah. It's the best workout.
Cowbell workout.
Yeah. But now I'm ready. I've accomplished all sorts of stuff today. We had a great stream today. NinjaTrader Live had a lot of great guests, a lot of great content, a lot of great fun. We have fantastic, as you guys pointed out, chat community, and we have a fantastic community following us that don't have the opportunity to be in the chat or aren't in the chat. So we love those folks as well. So, but I do have good news. The Bitcoin. Trading the Bitcoin now trading firmly over 75,000. Firmly over 75,000.
Okay, wow.
You got like a quadruple top, and it's just driving through. It doesn't care. It's moving. It was a really, really good day today to trade Bitcoin because it was really volatile. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. Is anybody left in a position, you guys?
No.
All out.
No,
Everyone's out.
everybody's out.
I'm still full disclosure. I'm still short. Yes, I'm hanging on, baby.
You going for that afternoon Netflix trade?
No, I think I just have a feeling. I have a little hunch here. This is a swing trade. I might hold on to it for a while. Hold on to them for a while.
Oh, Jim's bearish at the highs.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens above 7,100, if anything. I don't know. There it is. There's the
There we
bell.
go.
76 on the SPOOs. What do we get out on the NASDAQ? NASDAQ got out 480, 485, something like that. Very good.
$484.
Yeah. Wow. What a day. Another interesting day. Tight range across the board for everything. Tomorrow is Friday, everybody. Remember that. So risk off, maybe? I don't know. We'll find out. Plus, it's options expiration tomorrow. Craig's been talking about that all week. And we'll be firmly trading the June crude oil contract going forward here. So everybody remember that as well. Make sure your charts have rolled. And we'll all be in really, really good shape. So, gentlemen, thank you for today. Great job. Let's give these guys a round of applause.
Thanks, sir.
Let's go. Jim, I'll be seeing you tomorrow.
I'm looking forward to seeing you guys, you Joey, you Jack. Can't wait to see you guys. And it's with a heavy heart that I'm going to say, Leo, I'm going to miss you, man.
Same, but moving boxes and all that stuff. It's not more enjoyable. I'll say that.
No, I know. Well, I wish you the best on that move. I know it's stressful and not easy, and a lot of moving parts there. But you'll be in a better place, man. You'll be happier. So we're happy for you. In any event, folks, tomorrow, remember, we're starting an hour later. We're starting at 9 a.m. East Coast time. We usually start at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow's a later start. I'll be here kicking things off at 9 o'clock. And we have Merritt, Black, and Christian at Trading Boxes. They're going to be trading the Open tomorrow.
Together, are they going to be in the same room together like they talked about?
Well, it's 2025, Leo. Anything, whatever happens, man.
Chris is really keen on it as long as he had a key.
Well, why does he need a key?
To get out.
I'll ask him tonight. I don't know if I'll see him tonight. I should see him tonight, I think. I'll see Christian tonight for sure. Maybe. I don't know when Merritt's coming in. But then after that, midday markets, we have Stowe and Selma is going to trade, and that's going to go till 1 o'clock. So back-to-back live trading tomorrow, folks, for most of the day starting at 9 o'clock. And actually, I know Selma's here already. She just texted me a couple minutes ago, and she's out and about, so I'll get to see her tonight as well. So looking forward to that. If you're coming to Miami, if you're in the chat right now listening to me coming to Miami, can't wait. This place is beautiful. The weather's perfect. It's going to be a great, great weekend. So having said all that, remember, folks, most important message of the day, please be safe out there, be good to each other, and we will see you soon.
Good job.
Good job.